what state you're in right now. Like I'm in Oregon, and then what you are drinking. If you can put that in the chat box. I have my Four Sigmatic coffee, mushroom coffee, loving it. If I was on the East Coast and it was 5 o'clock, I would probably be having some wine right now, not gonna lie. So go ahead and share those. I'm so excited to see all you guys on here. Thank you for joining. Oh, lemon water, liquid IV, yes. Isogenics coffee, nice. I haven't tried that before. Matcha, love matcha. Michigan, Maui, oh my gosh, Maryland, Wyoming, California, Minnesota. Oh, someone else is in Oregon, awesome. Arizona, British Columbia, wow, welcome. Pennsylvania, Spindrift, yeah, I love Spindrift as well. I think it's better than LaCroix, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so fun that you guys are all here. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad everything's working. I am recording this just to be able to share it with other people who will be hopping on. You know, that couldn't make it live, that they'll get it through their email. Let's see if I'm gonna make sure that I'm not getting any texts or messages of people not being able to join before we really get going. I'm so excited you guys are all here. Okay. So cool. And then, awesome. Okay. Well, I will get started. I wanted to also just mention that I will be having a Q&A at the very end. So make sure that you stick through the webinar if you're able to, because then you can ask all of the questions. With a big group like this, it's hard to, you know, pause and answer questions as we go. So I would love it if you would just write down your questions. If you don't have a piece of paper and pen, go ahead and do that right now. So then that way you can write down your question and ask me at the very end. But awesome, this looks great. Everything is all set on my end. So I'm going to present and share my screen. Perfect. All right, and then if I can just get a little bit more feedback, just that you guys have view of my Start Your VA Business slide. If someone can just say they can see it, just so perfect. Okay, awesome, thank you guys. Okay, so we are going to jump on in and talk about how to start your VA business from scratch. Some of you guys might already have your VA business going, and if that's the case, that's totally great, because I will have some other tips in here, as well as our guest speakers. Kim and Jasmine will have some awesome tips. So just stick through it, and you'll get to that point after we get through a little bit of the intro. So we'll also be talking about signing big clients and how to recognize your target market. All right, so today I am going to show you how you can start your VA business, identify your niche. I'm going to be fancy today and say niche. I sometimes say niche, and I know it bothers some people, so I'm going to say niche the best that I can. Pitch to six-figure entrepreneurs and how to brand your business. And I have some help on those topics with my guest speakers a little bit later. And you can do this all without building a huge social media following, without spending thousands of dollars on courses, without creating a fancy website, and without working non-stop. So my goal for you in the next 2 months, 2 to 3 months, is to make your first $1,500 online. If you're here, it means that you are interested in starting an online business, specifically a VA business, and I need you to commit to go all in, which means you cannot have any hesitation in the fact that of your belief that you can or can't do this. Like, you have to believe you can do this. I am doing it. I'm no one that special. If I can do it, you can do it. So my goal, my very first goal for you, is to make $1,500 online and commit to going all in. So the process I'm going to teach you today is the same process my students used to start their business and solidify their niche. The students I'm talking about are the girls that graduated my VA bootcamp recently, And so I will be sharing some of those same tips. So look at these testimonials. I have to brag just for a minute because I love these girls. So Geneva is Davidson Virtual Assistant on Instagram. You can go follow her if you want some inspiration for starting your VA business. She is a teacher who wanted more flexibility. So she was actually the very first person to sign up for my boot camp, which was really exciting. And she's also super creative. So her niche actually ended up going in a few different directions. She's very creative and is able to do a lot of different things. And so she does some video editing, she does some content creation, email marketing. She does a variety of things, but she's honestly killing it right now. And I'm so proud of her. She was able to, within a few weeks of graduating, sign multiple clients at starting retainers. She also has a retainer client at $700 plus a month. Not only is that person paying her that base rate, but if she tacks on extra hours, she's able to make more from there. And she's actually close to not even needing her full-time teaching salary. If you guys want to see her full testimonial, it is on my website under Become a VA, and you can watch her video and really learn about what she's doing, but she's killing it. She is an example of who went all in and was able to make this happen. And then there's also Lisa, who I absolutely adore. She was an executive assistant who turned stay-at-home mom, but she wanted to maintain that career side of herself from home. And so she was able to do that by starting her VA business. She's telling me that she's taking it one client at a time because you guys, if you have a kid, you know it's hard to manage your time, but she's doing so good. And within a few weeks of graduating, she signed multiple clients starting at hourly and retainers. She's actually even helped me personally with some of the projects that I've been overwhelmed with. And she's making a consistent income from home with her son. If you guys want to see her testimonial video, that's also on my website. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement because not only am I doing this, but people I know personally, I know very well now, are doing it, and they're doing it well. So keep that in mind as we go through this lesson, and know that you can do it if you choose to and if you really want to. So I also want to teach you this process so you can work smarter, not harder. As we get into this, you'll see that it's not all about just making up a bunch of hours and working a ton of hours and making more money by working a lot. There's a way to do it a little bit smarter, and I'm excited to kind of show you how. Not to say that it's not going to be hard work. It is. Nothing ever like, you know, I'm not just throwing money at you, but there is a way to do it. So I briefly just want to tell you about myself in case there's a lot of names here that I don't recognize, which is super exciting. I'm so happy you're here. And maybe you recently just found me, or you decided to join here via like Kim or Jasmine. So I just want to say welcome. And I'm Helen. I'm the founder of Peterson Virtual Assistant, my own business. I am a VA for six-figure entrepreneurs. I now have 5 clients. I cut myself off after 5 because it has just been such amazing work, but it's also enough, you know, for me at this point. And so now I'm also pushing any other potential clients I get to the girls in my boot camp. But that being said, I specialize in email marketing and Kajabi course creation. If you guys aren't familiar with Kajabi, it's an online platform where you can put your courses on. And let me just say, this was not, a year ago, I had no idea I would be doing this. I did a little bit of email marketing a year ago, but barely. The Kajabi thing is new within a few months, but that's honestly been the most fun and exciting thing for me to learn and get into. And so I want to encourage you that even if you have no idea what like your specialty is going to be in the VA industry, it's okay, because I didn't know it either, but now I have found mine and I love it. I'm also a wife and a mom. My daughter Emery is almost a year and a half, which is nuts. And then we also have 3 dogs. If you guys follow me on my personal Instagram, you know who all of these guys are. I live by the motto, coffee until it's acceptable for wine. And here's a little bit about my story really quick. I actually graduated with a bachelor's in kines. I planned to go to PA school, and then I met my now husband, Tyler, in 2014. Actually, in 2 days is our 6-year dating anniversary, which is exciting. But we met a few months later. I met his family. I told his dad, who is a spine surgeon, what my goals were for the future, that I was going to be in PA school within the next year or two. And he told me to not do it. He told me that, yes, being a PA, you make a lot of money, but the lifestyle is horrible. You don't want to do it. He has a PA and he says he would never want to do that job. So that like flipped my world completely upside down. I had no idea what I was going to do. I started working as an admin assistant at a medical office, and that's what I did for the last, from like 2016 to 2018 until I had my daughter, Emery. And at that point, I was trying to start a blog. I had like fitness ebooks because I love working out. I created some fitness ebooks. I sold probably $2,000 worth of fitness ebooks over a like 2-year period. It wasn't great. But for some reason, something kept telling me to stick with the online business, stick with the online world. And my motivating factor behind all this, and the reason why I'm like super motivated and wanting to make this all work, is my parents. If you guys don't know, I think my mom might be on here. I would love it if she is. If not, I'm going to send her the replay. But I love my parents. They actually moved from Russia when my mom was pregnant with me, and they had 3 older kids. I have my 3 older siblings. My mom was pregnant with me, and they moved from Russia to the US in 1991. They started a pizza business where they had their own pizza shop in Poway, California, if anyone knows where that is. And they really built our family from the ground up. And so that was like, obviously just being in that type of family, having that entrepreneurial background, like that was my biggest motivating factor for making this work. Even though my parents worked a lot, they were always able to be there when we needed them because they did have like some flexibility. And even still now, they have an Airbnb. My dad actually retired as an Uber driver. And so they still love doing their own thing. And I love that about them. And I have always just wanted to work hard to like, you know, just, I don't know, just show them that everything that they did was worth it for us. So what I want you to think about, you don't have to share it with all of us, but you have to have a motivating factor. Whatever that might look like for you. For me, it's my parents. This is them when they visited us over my birthday weekend this past fall. But you have to have that motivating factor. So keep that in the back of your mind as we're going through this. Okay, and just a quick announcement. I also see Kim commented in the chat. Hi, Kim. I'm glad you are on here. You guys are going to be hearing from her super soon, which is going to be great. If you stay for the full webinar, you will have your chance to have a one-on-one call with me. If you haven't caught on already, I love to talk. So I would love to have a one-on-one call with you and talk about your business and your goals and your motivating factor and your dream. So stick around. Maybe you can really like, this hits home to you. I just need to make extra income from home too. I would love it if you comment your goals in the chat box. They can be totally generic or a little more detailed, whatever you think, but putting it out there into the world, into the universe, it really does mean something. So what are your goals? It might be to pay off debt. Maybe you have student loan debt or a car payment or credit card debt that you are like, I have a good job, but I want that extra little bit of income so I can pay off some debt. Maybe you want to contribute to your family savings account. Maybe you need to simply cover expenses because you or your significant other was laid off during this crazy time. Maybe it's saving up for that car or home. And honestly, guys, it's okay to simply just want more money. I am seeing in the chat box, so extra income to help pay off debt, be able to be a stay-at-home mom. Yes, that's such a great motivating factor. That's what did it for me. More time with my son at home, quit my full-time job. These make me so happy. I think like honestly, having these motivating factors, having these goals is going to make all the difference. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for sharing some of those. And like I said, it really is okay to simply want more money. My reason, and I will tell you a brief backstory. About 1.5 years ago, before I started my VA business, I took a really expensive course. If you guys want to ask me about it later, you can ask me about it later. But I took an expensive course and it really was great, but it wasn't necessarily worth the amount of money that I put into it. But what I will say is that it taught me a couple of things, and it was what the main thing about it was having a growth mentality versus a fixed mentality. I created this vision board 18 months ago. And one of my biggest goals is to be able to build our dream home on some land. That's something that we are working towards, and I will continue to work towards until we get there. But having this type of visual, as well as having a saying that I said every morning to myself that I am able to do this, that I have the capability to do this, those were all the things that made the difference for me to flip from making a couple $1,000s a year on my online business to actually making it a full-time income. So here's our agenda. If you guys saw the emails, you have seen the agenda, which is great, but we're first going to jump into what a VA is and how you can become one. Thank you for sticking through my story and the back end of it. I think it was important just to share a little bit about that in case you guys didn't really know who I was. So a VA, maybe you are like, I am interested in this, but I literally don't even really know what it is. And a VA is someone who handles the behind the scenes work for businesses. Anything from admin, email marketing, content creation, podcast editing, video editing, the list goes on. The cool thing about VA, there are so many options, and from there you can narrow it down. So I think that's one of my favorite things about this. Right now it's so popular in the coaching, blogging, influencer, small product-based businesses world. All of my clients land in one of these types of categories. If you just think about, the big Instagram accounts who need someone to help with their DMs on their social media, like that is a thing. You can find people, if you're interested in doing that, you can find people who need it. If you are a writer and you like to write blogs, there are bloggers out there, there are businesses out there who have a blog tab on their website that's not being seen enough because they're not posting enough. They will hire you to write blog posts. Maybe you like answering emails, and so product-based businesses, they might not need a full-time employee, but they need someone in their email inbox 10 hours a week jumping in and answering customer service questions. I do that. So you can also even find like local clients, medical office clients. A lot of these are people that don't need a full-time employee in-house, but they need help. And the way that you're gonna make your full-time income is by having 2 to 5 clients. That's all you need, which is the amazing thing about it. There are something, if you're not like fully paying attention, please pay attention to this bullet point because it's really important. There are agencies out there that can hire you to be a VA that they outsource their clients to. But from what I've heard, what I've explored about this, I don't have personal experience with it, but I've seen the numbers. You get paid less. You really do get paid much less. The jobs are impersonal. You don't have direct contact with your clients, and it's honestly way less enjoyable, and it's more of just like a screen time job. It's not an actual, like business that you're super excited about. So my push to you, there's also like the sites like Upstart and Fiverr where you can like find, consulting type of contract jobs super quickly. But I have also found that you spend more time on those sites looking for a job than you actually do getting paid and working. So I always strongly suggest like not going down those routes. Don't even waste your time going down those routes, and instead simply start your very own business. You have your own business. Your place of business is your home. You pay taxes to your state based off of your income. It's anywhere from like 20 to 30%, depending on where you live. You have to be a little more responsible in, tax withholdings and that kind of stuff. But honestly, it's your very own business. You have the flexibility of time management. You can work from anywhere in the world. You don't have anyone, I have seen, which is so ridiculous to me, but I've seen on some of these VA agencies, they have you on screen while you're working to make sure that you're logging hours appropriately. So you don't want that. You don't want someone like hovering over your shoulder and watching you through your screen. You want your own flexible business where you have deadlines, you have projects, and you have clients that you communicate with, but that's it. You don't have someone like breathing down your neck. You can go work in Hawaii if you want to. So that's the awesome thing about starting your very own business. Let's bust some myths about starting your VA business. I had fun coming up with these ones. If you build it, they will come. If you put up a website, if you put up social media, if you just tell the world, hey, I'm a VA now, they will come. Unfortunately, they won't. But don't worry, I will show you how to find them. Myth number 2, social media is king. I've had some people be like, well, Helen, you've been on Instagram for a long time. Like, of course you can make a business out of it. It has nothing to do with your following, because you do not need a large following to build your business. I just mentioned you only need 2 to 5 clients to actually create a full-time income. So you don't need a large following. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that make you hesitant about this. Working more equals making more money. Yes, but thank goodness there's another way. Yes, working more hours for an hourly pay, you get paid more, duh. But there's another way to make more money without just having to work a ton of hours. So there are so many virtual assistants out there. I'm not gonna lie and say like, you know, there's a low amount of VAs, and if you just become one, you'll have a ton of work right off the bat. Like, that's not the case. But what I will tell you is that they're not always, not a lot of the VAs out there know what they're doing, and they're not really putting themselves out there in the appropriate way to gain clients. But if you have a computer, if you have a Wi-Fi connection, and you have the motivation to make money, which I believe all of you guys that are here have all 3 of those things, then you can become a VA. But that doesn't mean you will make a full-time income as a VA. And maybe you're like, okay, well, Helen, how do you make full-time income? I will get there. It doesn't have to be that way. You will successfully create your business. And these are some of the ways that you can do it. You have to structure your business appropriately. You have to solidify your target client and niche. And you have to brand and pitch yourself confidently. You guys, confidence is huge in this industry. People are giving you trust in you to take care of stuff on their business side. I mean, they're giving you logins, they're giving you access to email inboxes, they are maybe even giving you access to financials, to credit cards, to purchase things. Like, you need to be confident, and you also need to be trustworthy. And so if you pitch yourself and brand yourself appropriately, if you're an honest person and you do all 3 of these things, you will get clients and you will have the potential to make this your full-time income. So do you want to learn more? I love Schitt's Creek. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to like go binge it on Netflix because it is hilarious. But if you want to learn more and about structuring appropriately and making money, let me know in the chat section. Let me see that everyone's still here, that you can still hear me. It is the best show. Yes, yes, awesome. Okay, good. Just want to make sure that I'm still, you know, I'm not just talking to a screen here. Okay, so here we go. Finding your niche and getting paid the big bucks. So raise your hand, you know, virtually, if you've ever thought that I want to be a virtual assistant, but I have no idea what services to provide or where to find clients. Don't worry, that is how I felt. I didn't either. And awesome, you guys, some of you are raising your hand. I love it. Thank you for participating. I did all the right things. I made a website. I started social media accounts. I spent months working for a low hourly pay. I signed up for a lot of courses and spent a lot of money. This emoji like cannot explain how I felt about how much money I was spending on courses, because I thought I needed to spend on like all the different categories of like email marketing and business management and like QuickBooks and like all these silly courses that I was like, why did I do that? But I did it. I learned a lot, which was great, but I spent a lot of money. And then an opportunity came, like literally smacked me in the face, and I took it. It was my very first email marketing setup. And then even further down the line, like I mentioned at the beginning, course launches. But here's the thing, the email marketing thing is what really set me apart and took me forward. It allowed me to create an actual business and not just be making a couple $100s a month. So in April of 2019, I made a whopping $440 the month. I was proud of it because as a stay-at-home mom, I was like, I'm covering our groceries for the month, or I covered my student loan and half of my car payment for the month. Like, I felt pretty good about it. I'm not saying that's not a lot of money, but it wasn't like, it wasn't there yet. I wasn't feeling like I was in the position that I wanted to be. This past April, just a few weeks ago, I closed out April at $4,100. You guys know, if you follow me on my email list, I'm pretty open about my income. This is all related to client-based work. And that's, I mean, that was huge for me. It's been an awesome, awesome year. So here's what I learned. Multiple levels to structuring your business yields a higher yet consistent income. I'll read it again because I felt super fancy writing this out. Multiple levels to structuring your business yields a higher yet consistent income. And what does that mean? Another one of these. I love this show. It means hourly, retainers, and projects. So I'm going to break these down for you. I learned that with the perfect balance of hourly work, monthly retainers, and big ticket projects, I could make more money, work less hours, and spend more time with my daughter. I mean, this is like big for me. It was really the big game changer. So hourly, this is how I started. This is how a lot of VAs start and never get past. And this is where you make a decent income, but nothing that's like, you know, shocking. So hourly is basic admin work, something like answering emails in an inbox or taking over, you know, Instagram DMs or engaging on social media, like those types of things. They're tracked hourly. That's basic admin work. Retainers. This is a combination of your hourly work and having a monthly minimum. This is another game changer, and this is what prevents you from having clients that are like, I just need you for 5 hours this month, 1 hour a week, just to, you know, do this or that for me, clean up my email inbox a little bit. You say no to those clients. You say, my minimum, I recommend $200 at the absolute minimum, even if you're just starting out. And what that's going to allow you to do is have at least a couple of clients that are paying you a little bit more than just a few hours a month. So that was huge for me as well. And then projects. This is where you really get into it. Your niche, your big ticket service, the big bucks. For me, initially it was email marketing setups. I would go in, I would take someone's email list from MailChimp or their old, you know, whatever email list they had going, and I would transfer that list into a better platform such as Flowdesk or Kajabi. And from there, I would set up email marketing sequences. And I'm saying I'm still doing this today. I'm working on an awesome project right now with one of my favorite wellness people, and I'm doing 6 email marketing sequences for her. Each of those email marketing sequences are 4 emails. They come with a PDF attachment that you know, your client or the customers download. They get a free PDF, and then from there they have a welcome series that they go through, and then maybe from there that there's a sales series that they go through later down the line. This was massive for me. This doesn't have to be your big ticket service. Maybe you're like, that sounds horrible, it doesn't sound fun at all. That's okay. If you're not into that, you don't have to be. I'm just sharing personally that that's one of the things that I am absolutely obsessed with doing because I'm a writer at heart and I love it. But these types of projects, creating sales pages, creating website pages that really pop, having being the one to design the PDF downloads, like those are projects that you're going to get paid more than just hourly for. So that was the big game changer for me, and that's the big game changer for how you can make this something that actually creates a solid income. So now I am so excited to bring in Jasmine. I feel like I'm like on stage and I'm about to like shift off and have someone else come up. But if Jasmine, if you're on here, hopefully you are, go ahead and show yourself and unmute yourself. There we go. Awesome. I can make you the spotlight, I think.
Perfect. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. So I'm Jasmine. I own a branding and web design agency. I actually met Helen. She was my client. We just launched her website literally like 2 weeks ago or something. Super exciting. And I just went through the process of hiring my first VA, which is Geneva on here, who was referred by Helen. Crazy. But got my first VA about a month ago, but I was actually looking for a VA for like 5 months. And something I kind of wanted to talk about you guys today is just why branding is so important for your business right off the bat. You don't, I understand when you start a business, you feel like you need to have like a fancy website and fancy branding and whatever, but really all you need to do is like what Helen said, is showcase your personality online. You don't need followers. You don't need to spend that big money investing in design until you're like comfortable enough in your business to where you're ready to pivot. But most importantly, the reason why branding is so important, and this was something that I've noticed when I was looking for a VA myself, was so many people are offering all of the things. They want to do all of the things and they want to give you all of the services. And I felt like I didn't know any of them. And that was something that was important to me, is I'm looking for someone to hire on long term. So I don't want to have to find a VA every other month. So branding yourself can really help you stand out in your field with what I mentioned about trying to offer all of the services. I would try to find one or two, maybe three that you can start with that you're really, really doing well in, because that also makes someone, for example, like me, who is design based, when I was looking for a VA, I was looking for someone who was more creative, who can do video editing or content creations or graphics. Someone else, for example, a coach might want to do admin work and email marketing. So try to figure out who your niche is, who your ideal client is. And then the other thing is, you can also increase your pricing when you are doing these specific services really well. And you can also build awareness and create those referrals. And that's when people recommend you to others. So for me now, whenever I'm friends with a lot of other content creators or designers in the online space. And now I already have, for example, my VA or other VAs that I'm aware of and what their specific talents are and what they're experienced with. And I can refer them accordingly when I know that they have these 2-3 services that they're really good at, and these are the kind of people that they work with. So the reason why I wanted to invest in a VA in general, and the reason why there is a constant demand, is because if someone is trying to scale their business, they're going to need some more free time. So for me, it was getting to the point where I was working so much on design that I didn't have necessarily the time to create my content or do graphics it was more for like my social media and things like that. I wanted to start a blog, but I also didn't have the time to do that. So it really helps me stay in my zone of genius. And it's the same thing when you work with a coach, to where they are going to be able to take on more clients and kind of step away from the tedious tasks. And this is why the VA industry is something like I feel like people are just now getting into, because it's so flexible. Like what Helen said, you can work from home, you can provide, you can help pay off debt, your bills. It's super flexible. But this is something that I see growing, because there's no way that there's no person that has made like a 6-figure income, 7-figure income, whatever, doing it alone. And the VA is like the first investment anyone makes if they're looking to scale their business. So I really recommend that you try to niche down to like what kind of industry you want to work with, even if it's just starting out, and then you find that you like something more, and then develop experience in that specific industry, find out what kind of tasks they like or they would recommend you doing and things like that. So for me, I started out wanting to just help female entrepreneurs in general. And then after I started working with more service providers, now I'm more niche down to like virtual assistants, social media managers, content creators, and things like that.
Okay, and before we get into Kim, I want to ask Jasmine, so it took you said 5 months to find or to hire a virtual assistant. Why? Why did it take you so long?
So I think one of the main issues was every time I would reach out to a virtual assistant, they would want to hop on a call, which I was totally fine with. But at the same time, like they would refuse to tell me what services they would offer in general. And for me, I already made a list of the tasks that I needed to outsource, and I was looking for something very specific. And most of the time we would hop on a call, we would kind of get to know each other. And then I was like, okay, you're offering too many things and none of them are like what I'm looking for as a designer. You're probably a great fit for someone in a different industry. So this is why finding who your ideal client is, or what your target industry, what you would like it to be, is so important, because that way you can tell right off the bat if you want to work with, or if you can work with someone, if you can offer them that service. And at the same time, if you want to spend the energy working for someone when, it might not be a good fit from the start.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, well, and then I want to also introduce Kim on here. She is actually one of my clients. And if you guys have questions for Jasmine, hang on to them again. She's going to stick around till the very end so you guys can ask her questions specific to what she just talked about. But let's jump on. Hi, Kim.
Hi, can you see me? Okay.
Spotlight video. There we go. All right, awesome. So I work for Kim. I actually straight up cold messaged her and was like, "You look busy. How can I help you?" Like literally, that is kind of how it went down. So I want to ask her. I haven't even asked her. I've been working for her for a while, and I haven't even asked. Was that the correct way to do it? I don't know. Let's find out.
Well, when Jasmine was talking about how she met you, I was like, how did I meet Helen? Because I was definitely pregnant with Rosie. And you were pregnant. We were pregnant at the same time, and I was on your podcast. But yeah.
And
so yes, yeah.
Rosie and I have the same birthday.
Yeah. So my soon-to-be middle baby is October 13th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was going to talk about that in here about like how to approach somebody. Just because I think it's so interesting. Like I liked hearing Jasmine about how it took her 5 months, and I'm trying to like think because I've hired a few VAs over the course of a year, so I have like a different experience than her. But what's on my bullet points here? Who needs your help? Yeah, so kind of like what you guys have been talking about is that, you know, there are entrepreneurs out there who need your skills. There are skills that you can be providing, whether you think, you know, VA work, like when Helen's talking about email campaigns, for me, that's like not my thing. And you might not, and it might not be your thing. But if you're super organized and you love schedules and you love planning, like someone could hire you for that. Like I could hire you for that because that's something I'm not really great at. I'm really creative and I think really broad, probably like Jasmine, but I don't have that structure that a lot of people thrive with, right? So there's a way you can market yourself that way too, based on your skills. And no skill is too small. Like there's a space for every person who wants to be a virtual assistant and has something to offer. I think everyone has something to offer. So, and another thing to think about is like what's taking up most of their time. And that's something you talked about, Helen, just like checking DMs and emails and stuff that just like you lose track of, even like pictures. Like I have tons of pictures and it's hard for me to like keep track of. So simple things like that could be taking up way too much of my time that I can't work with my clients and respond to questions and create new products and services. I wrote the book down, Rocket Fuel by Gino Wickman. I think that's the correct spelling of his last name, but it's a great book if anyone's considering being a virtual assistant. I read it. It talks about the visionary and the integrator. So the visionary is, I'm a visionary, I think really creatively, and then I need an integrator like Helen who can take my ideas and put it into steps, write it down in lists, and then we can check it off together because my mind just doesn't work like that. And I mean, again, that's something so simple. I don't know how to change the slide, but definitely check out that book. It was insightful. Okay. So then this is approaching somebody. So I've only hired people that I felt like I knew. I've tried the online like Fiverr. What's the other one? Upwork. I don't even know. And it just never worked out. I felt like I was hiring someone from like a foreign country that didn't speak English. I paid someone money and I got nothing. And I was like, I will never do this again. I will never do this again. I want it to be a personal connection, like a friend, like someone who's working with me, not for me. And the first girl I hired, it was through word of mouth. Somebody gave me her contact information. I thought she was great. We worked together for a bit. The second one I had been following for a while and I was like, I think she can help me. I'm going to reach out to her. And then with Helen, I don't even remember, but I was like so ready to hire someone. I was just like, where is she? Where is she? So, and the thing that was so hard for me, and I know it took Jasmine 5 months, at least Jasmine was like doing the work. I was like, I didn't even have time to research virtual assistants. like this past December into January, I was like, I'm too busy. Like if I do have a free hour of time, I'm going to be checking my emails and doing all this other stuff. So it is so helpful if you as a VA reach out to somebody, just saying like, hey, like Helen said, you look really busy, or like even just showing interest in their business and coming across as like a genuine person, saying like, hey, I followed you for the past 2 months now, and I really like what you're doing. I saw you just had a sale. How did it go? I'm a virtual assistant. Here's what I can do to support you if you ever need help on your next launch, that sort of thing. So showing interest, being a real person, and then being consistent. Like for me, I need someone to follow up with me. So Helen probably reached out and I was like, yeah, great idea. And then she didn't hear from me for like 6 days. And then she had to reach out again. I was like, so what's going on? Did you, like, I just need that extra push, but just because there's so many things going on, not because I didn't need her help, but I just needed her to meet me more than halfway, I guess. Thank you, Helen, for doing that.
Yeah. Well, and with reaching out, I know sometimes it can be hard, like to know, do you send an email? Do you send a DM? Do you post a comment on a photo? Like what would be your recommendation for someone in your position? You have a lot of followers, so it's hard. You don't even see all of your DMs. Like what would be the best way for someone to reach out to someone like yourself?
For me personally, email.
Yeah.
Email me. If you want to get in front of my face, you need to send me an email in my inbox. That's it. But if you are, if you were to send someone a DM, I would make it super personal. I love sending voice memos. So if you were to just record your voice, there's an option for this, is the thing. Helen and I do it back and forth all day, every day. But you could just say like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I love your page. Your babies are cute. Whatever you're saying to them. And then just like having something in common. Is this my next slide? Yes. Yeah. So finding a perfect match. All of my VAs, all of them, there was only 3. And I don't know, the first 2, I kind of want to explain finding the perfect match, because the first VA I hired, we were so similar. Do you hear how fast I'm talking? And I'm like all over the place. And she was the same way. So it was not a good fit because we were both just like full fiery forces. And I needed someone who was grounded and just step by step and more structured. However, we did have, like I said, a lot in common. Like she was really into her health and fitness. And I noticed that with my second that I hired too. Which brings me to my next thing. We didn't have clear expectations from the beginning. We kind of just said like, hey, should we try this? Do you want to help me out? Or like, could you do this? And we just didn't really lay out exactly what I was looking for, because I honestly didn't know at the time. I was like, I just need help. I just have too much to do. So that was kind of the issue I ran into with the second. Both were great. However, there was too many like connections that weren't, like lines that weren't measuring up. I don't even know how to say that, but yeah. So our expectations were not met. But yeah, and if you have stuff in common with the person you're hiring, like for example, Helen her background is in health and fitness basically, and she knows, like she can answer questions. If someone asks about like exercise, she can respond because she has that background, which is really, really cool. So even if like you're a nurse or a teacher, or there's so many different skill sets that you probably have that you can that could be in line with your future partner or entrepreneur, right? But also find what works best for you in your business, because you get to choose who you work with. You get to choose, what kind of blog posts you're writing. Helen was talking about like you could get hired to write blog posts. If you know nothing about fashion, you probably aren't going to want to write someone's blog post about fashion. It just like, it won't work. Or maybe it'll be like really hard for you and it's not fun. So don't settle for anything that's not fun and exciting and in line with what you want to do.
I love that. And I think along with that, it's like some people think I don't have an admin background or I don't have a marketing background, so I can't be a virtual assistant. But honestly, actually, me having a health and fitness background was attractive for Kim because she knows that I can answer questions related to that. Also, I'm a mom, so I went through postpartum. I can answer questions to that as well. And so just because your background isn't in maybe you weren't an EA or you weren't a marketing, at a marketing firm, whatever, that doesn't matter. Like, it's almost better to have a variety of backgrounds in the VA industry.
Right.
Then you can really speak to that target market that, we've been talking about. So yay, thank you, Kim.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, so I'm going to put the spotlight back on me. Kim will hopefully be able to stick around for just a few more minutes. We're going to get to our Q&A. So let me just finish up with my slides here. Okay, so it is decision time. Maybe you're like, okay, this is all sounding really cool. I think I want to do this. What now? What do I do? So remember how I said I made a website, I made social media accounts, I spent months trying to create new products. I signed up for a lot of courses and spent a lot of money. You can do this too. You can go down that route. You can try all of these things and you will eventually get to where you want to be. I have no, doubt that you will do it if you want to do it. And you can take it from here. But these are all the things that in, the hour that we have today, I am not able to answer. How do I find clients? What big ticket service should I offer? How much do I charge for those big projects that you were talking about, Helen? What's the industry hourly rate? I will tell you it's anywhere from 20 to 40 an hour, depending on what you're doing. How much can I charge? What software do I use? How do I contact clients? How long does it take to get my business up and running? There's so many different things that you can, try to take it from here, do it on your own. Or option 2, we can do this together. I love helping you guys. You guys saw how proud I was of my 2 students for my first round of VA bootcamp. And we can do this together, fast and affordably. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on courses like I did. I will teach you everything in a very specific fashion. You'll know what type of services to offer. You'll know how much to charge. You'll know how to navigate taxes and business reg. You'll know where to find clients. And you'll even receive a sales script to reach out. I'll take you step by step and be available for any questions along the way. This is Lisa. She is, I love her that picture. Look at her son, he's so cute. She said, I don't know how anyone could start their VA business without this boot camp. She took the 6 weeks, she stayed up to date week by week, killed it, and started her business right at the end of the 6 weeks and is up and running and is doing awesome. So I am opening up my 6-week VA bootcamp today. You guys are the first ones to hear it. I haven't announced on social media. This is what it all includes. I'll go through it quickly and then we'll get into the Q&A because I want you to have a chance to answer questions and I want to be respectful of your time. So the course materials include videos and worksheets. This is screenshots of what you see when you sign up. You have weekly live calls with me. They're very similar to this. We are in a group setting. You can ask all the questions. On top of the 6 weeks of lessons, I have bonus mini lessons that we'll go through that are relevant to what we're going on. And then you also get lifetime access to the private Facebook group. So if you are ready to work from anywhere, if you have an admin, creative, marketing, medical, any sort of background, just like we were talking about, you want to make more money and you want to help more people, this is for you. The lifetime access to my Facebook group, this means that you also get lead opportunities. You also have live call access for a lifetime. The calls that we'll be doing in this next round, my first round of girls can hop on if they want to and ask new questions about new things that are going on in their business. You have access to me. I also post lead opportunities. This bottom one right here of that other fit pregnancy coach, that's someone who emailed me. I said I don't have time. 2 of my girls in the boot camp actually signed on with her and were helping her with the launch. I don't know exactly where that's at this point, but I know that that's what they did and it worked out well for everyone. And that fit pregnancy coach loved the 2 girls that jumped on and helped her. So that's kind of what this Facebook group looks like. In week 1, we identify your skill set and target market. You'll know who your ideal client is and what types of services you'll be offering. Week 2, you will build your brand and outline your packages. So at the end of this week, you'll have your branding finalized and you'll know what services and packages you'll be offering along with the prices. I will check all of that for you. I will give you all my feedback. You send me your worksheets and I edit them for you. I give you all my feedback. Week 3, you'll know how to present your business and market your services. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have social media to market your business, but I help you find out if those are the best ways to market your business. For some people it is. For some people, they might not need social media pages, depending on what you're offering. But we'll go through all of that in week 3. Week 4, you will do all the not so fun stuff, I'm not gonna lie, but it is structuring your business and finances. I have templates for your client contracts because you do need contracts. You guys do not go get hired by someone and not have a signed contract and not have like everything outlined, because either you're not going to get paid and you can't do anything about it, or something's going to happen and then they're upset because it wasn't like, you just need contracts. So I give you templates for those. I also give you templates for pre-call questionnaires, and you will know how to handle your taxes and business registration, because we'll have to abide by the law here. So week 5 is where to find clients and your sales pitch. I give you everything you need in order to find those clients, just like we were talking about in today's call, how to reach out to them, how to verbalize all of that. And then also we talk a little bit about how to maintain client relationships, because it's one thing to get a client, but then it's a whole nother thing to keep that relationship and keep getting paid month after month. You don't want to be getting new clients left and right. You want to stick with and grow with those clients. And finally, in week 6, you guys can see at the beginning of this webinar, I'm all about mindset. I am just so confident in that, like, approaching yourself negatively is going to result in negative results. But I teach you kind of how to overcome that fixed mentality and be confident in yourself. And then also I do a website audit. If you did create a website, I will look over it for you. I will give you feedback on how to do it. We go through any questions you might have. And for all of you guys, if you sign up for this, you will have a one-on-one call with me, which I'm super excited about. You don't need a lot of hours a week in order to jump into this course. You don't need to have a big following, like I said before. You don't need to have your website yet. You don't need to know even what you are offering or what you are good at. And you don't need to have a business plan. We're going to do that all together week by week. This is what I love to do, so I will help you do it. So my bootcamp is valued at $497. And normally one-on-one coaching is valued at $280 an hour. But if you attended today, if you sign up, you'll instantly get a one-on-one call with me, and I am giving a massive discount for early bird. So for the next 72 hours, I am opening this up at $297. You guys get everything I just talked about if you sign up in the next 72 hours. I'm gonna make it super simple for you. I will put a link in the chat box. You can check it out. I actually also have payment plan options. So if you're like, Helen, $297 right now, it's still kind of a big chunk of money to put down all at once, but I really want to invest in my education. I will put a link down here right now. You will see that there's a few options, and you can even pay it over a 6-month period. So I really want to make this work for you. I'm not trying to like pitch you some massive, priced course. I've signed up for a lot of really expensive courses that weren't specific to being a VA. And so I wish I would have just signed up for one course instead of piecing together a bunch of things. So that's what I have done with this 6-week bootcamp. I've pieced it all together for you to have in this one price. So with that being said, I had to share that with you guys. I'll put the link right here for you, but let's open it up to Q&A. I have the chat open still. If you guys are more comfortable, oh, sorry, dog barking. If you're more comfortable just putting it in the chat box, go for it. I'm gonna stop my share right now. Or if you are more comfortable showing your face on video, I would love to see you and you can ask your questions. Just simply hit the mute thing so you unmute yourself. Or you can ask questions down here. So, okay, I think we are all set on there. I stopped my share. I am going to drop this link right here in the chat box. What day and time will the classes be? Great question. So I always hold the live call on a weekend afternoon because I have found that weekends for all of you guys that are still working full-time jobs are better. But the great thing is just like this call, if you can't make it to the live call, I record it, I upload it, you can watch it on your own time. So you get all the information still via the video. The first week, great question, it begins on June 1st. So June 1st is a Monday, we are kicking it off. But as soon as you sign up for the boot camp, you actually get access to week 1 material, as well as the worksheets and all of that good stuff. And so you can join the Facebook group, you can start looking around, you can start your worksheets for week 1. And then how often do you have the classes? So the, I'm not sure if you mean like the one-on-one or the live calls, the group calls are once a week. We have a group call once a week. And then I offered this earlier this year. I don't know when the next time will be that I will offer it. It kind of comes in seasons. So I don't have a date yet, I guess I should say, for the next one, except this one is starting on June 1st. All right. What tools do you need to get started for the boot camp, and how many people you take on? So the tools, really you just need your computer, honestly, and access to the internet. Just like being a VA, you don't need much. You'll have videos, you'll have worksheets, everything will be provided for you. So that is that. And then if you guys have questions for Kim or Jasmine, they're still on here too. So if you have specific questions to branding, to finding, big clients, or just simple random questions about their businesses, ask those questions as well. But I'm loving all these questions in the chat box. Yes. Okay. Do you have examples of students that didn't have an idea of what their niche or no prior experience was as a VA? Is Geneva still on here? I'm going to put her on the spot if she is. Can you show your video, Geneva, if you're on here?
I'm here.
Oh, yay. Okay. Let me make you a spotlight really quick. Can you share just a little bit about how, when you started, I don't think you really knew exactly what type of services you wanted to offer. This is one of the girls that graduated and is killing it. So I'll have her share and answer that question.
Yeah, so I didn't have any idea like what I knew I kind of, knew some creative stuff and had some experience with teaching, but I had no idea what I'd be doing. And then something else was I liked that, you don't have to come to the live classes. She gives you like a pre-recorded other class. So the live class is kind of extra. I know that was a concern of mine of like, could I just manage the classes on my own? Do I need to come to all these live things? So those of you that are asking about that, I just wanted to make sure to share that because that was a concern of mine. But otherwise, yeah, I had no idea what I would do, no experience as a VA. Like I said, I was just a teacher in a classroom, and in her class, each week is kind of like the next step on the to-do list of starting your business. So it's like step 1, let's get your mindset right, what you might do. Step 2, so you kind of just like follow along with the steps, and then the no experience kind of isn't a problem.
Yeah. And someone else had actually asked, how do you make being a VA work while working a full-time job? You're doing that right now.
Yeah.
So how's that going for you?
It's going really well. I just, I kind of am like a really organized person. So I have days that I just set aside for certain client work, and, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a video editing day. And I know that I kind of keep that creative hat on, and I just, you kind of balance and look at your week and see how that goes and just put the time in as you have it. I am a virtual teacher, so it's a little bit, like we all are right now. So it's a little bit simpler, but you just kind of balance it out and work it out. So yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing with that too is like the cool thing about starting your own business, being a VA, you don't have to take on clients that require like day of type of work. You can pick types of clients that give you projects that you can just work on at your own time while you still have a full-time job. A lot of it might look like, evening work or early morning work or weekend work. That's just life. That's how you're going to have to make it work. But once you get, that comfortable income from being a VA, that's when the goal, leave your full-time job and be able to work from home, work from anywhere. So Geneva works from a boat. To answer Diana's question, she is live on a boat.
I am on a boat. Oh man, and there's a whiskey bottle there. Sorry about that.
Love it. I don't care. So cool. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Let's see if I can, how do I get myself back on? Oh, Diana's a captain. That's so cool. Ideally, how many clients do you contract? I'm trying to get myself back on screen. I feel like maybe, okay, maybe that will work. Spotlight. There we go. Okay, sorry guys. How many clients do you contract? So ideally, like I said, it really depends on what types of clients you're getting. If you're doing just hourly work, you're going to have a few more clients than if you're doing bigger project type of work, where you can make a bigger income with less clients. But honestly, anywhere from like 2 to 5 is the sweet spot. And it obviously also depends on what your income needs are. For some of us, like maybe $1,500 a month is all you need because you are a stay-at-home mom and you're like, I just want to put $1,500 a month into savings. That is like so doable when people put on their goals, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 a month. You can do that as a side income. And that's what I started off as. And I still only, minus like when the VA bootcamp stuff is going on and I have more work than normal, I actually only work about 25 to 30 hours a week. So if you guys want to make more than what I'm making and you're able to work more than 25 hours a week, you can easily do that. I shouldn't say easily. Obviously, you do have to still work hard. I'm not gonna like lie and say, yeah, it's a breeze. But oh, and then Tiffany said, I was fortunate enough to go through Helen's bootcamp. I highly recommend it. Organized, thorough, and fun. Thanks, Tiffany. I'm so excited that some of these girls are on here. I love it. It's like we really are a little community on our Facebook group, and it is so fun. Wow, I swear I didn't pay these people to say stuff, but thank you, Rachel. Best investment she's made. Cool. And looks like Jenny, so you're saying currently in the last 6 weeks of my bachelor's. Yeah, well, maybe someone else can attest, some of the girls that have taken the boot camp, but it really isn't that big of a time investment during the course. The big time investment comes when you start working for clients and you start actually taking on projects and that kind of stuff, and you start working and making money. That's when you have more time. But as far as the course itself, it's about 1 hour of videos a week along with the worksheets where you kind of sit down and really go through all of that. And then our live call is about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what's going on. So really, like you only need like 2 hours, I would say, a week, and you can do it all on your own time, and you have lifetime access to the course. I will say, and I'm gonna be really blunt about it, the course first round was $197. It was my beta program. I did it at a discounted rate. This round, I bumped it up because I added things to it. I can guarantee that the next round is going to be more expensive as well. So if you guys are interested in it and you're looking at this price, I'm going to be completely blunt with you and say, as this course grows and gets better, it is going to become more expensive. The cool thing is that you have lifetime access to it. So all the girls that pay the initial price are going to get all of the upgrades as they stay in the membership area. You never get booted out of there. So just so you know about that. And yeah, you're welcome for clearing that up. Perfect. Okay, I think those are all the questions. If I missed something, just type it again because I am scrolling through. If the course is tax deductible, I say yes. Actually, the courses that I took, I deducted off of my taxes. Maybe Kim or Jasmine, you guys have probably taken courses before. Those are considered educational. So you can put it in your taxes. They're both nodding their heads. So yes, it is tax deductible. It's considered an educational thing. And yeah, so that's kind of cool. I know I appreciated that too when I took the courses that I've taken as well. Yeah, there you go. Kim says business expense. Awesome. Okay. Well, if there's any other questions, I just have to say thank you so much for Kim and Jasmine for being here. I honestly love this kind of stuff. Like, I don't even want to sign off because it's just so fun chatting with all of you guys. It's like girl time happy hour virtually, but I really appreciate all of you guys coming. I did record this. I will email it out in case. Did you say we will have lifetime access to course materials? Yes, Kelly, you will have lifetime access. When you purchase it, you get like a login. It takes you into the portal. You have all the videos, all the worksheets, anything that I add on in the future, you'll have access to. And then you also have lifetime access to the Facebook group, which I'm excited about because as this course grows and more people join the Facebook group, we're just gonna have such a fun time, like getting to know each other. 2 of the girls like joined in together on a project with a big client, and so like that kind of stuff is so fun to see. And my biggest goal with all of this is to make it successful for you. Like I absolutely am such a proud mama bear, or whatever you want to call it, for like all the girls that have taken the course and started their business. So how many people did you have in the first course? I have, I think we now have 18 people in the Facebook group. So I had 12 girls sign up right off the bat, and then as quarantine hit, I allowed a few other people into the group. I'm not going to be doing that this time around. It was a little chaotic to be having people jumping in. So we're starting June 1st. If you don't sign up before then, you're going to have to wait until I don't know when to sign up, because it was a little chaotic. But now that's how many people are in the Facebook group at this point. Cool. You're welcome, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. All right. Well, unless there's any last minute questions, I will sign off of here. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate all of you guys coming on, hanging out with me. It makes quarantine afternoons a little more fun and less lonely. So awesome. All right. And thank you, Kim and Jasmine, again. Thanks, you guys. Have a great rest of your day and a great week. I am here for you. Just shoot me messages via Instagram. I love chatting on DMs, so don't feel like you can't reach out after this.